for the former show, my sons acting as your chairman money as a yeah, na many I then adjourn if you say the same people who are not a more air do, it's a measure of a mechi, ever put here in some air cost only the air by our say back, no so
I was talking about this. Somebody told me that, oh, you should have been at Peduasi the other day. President Akufo-Addo was teasing John Peter Amewu. And he said, JP, you are here. You are supporting Alanche Martin. Has anybody done anything to you? And I heard Peter Amewu was laughing and said, Mr. President, no. And I hear JP told Mr. President, you also have to come on board and support Alanche Martin because he's going to win. Apparently that erupted a lot of laughter at Peduasi and everybody was laughing. And the president said, no problem. You have more convincing to do for me and your colleagues. But JP is Alanche Martin, sits in the cabinet. There's no problem. The president points out to him. He points back to the president that you should support our campaign. And everybody is laughing. That's a spirit of diversity. And that's working. Look at Alexander Afenyo-Markin. He has a relationship with Kennedy Japan. He's not going to diss Kennedy Japan. I mean, maybe he will not. But there are 137 votes up for grabs. If he decides to show his loyalty by selecting Kennedy Japan for the process, that he's done his loyalty to his friend. So I like that, but not everyone likes that. But I like that. I think that is creating diversity. If all our political parties should allow people to have a freedom of expression within internal party politics, it's not a problem. If I think that I'm in the party and I think Alanche Martin will win or he should be the elected candidate, it shouldn't mean that the president should not make me a minister. That is why people know that Frida Prempeh is not on the Bawumia bandwagon, and I'm sure people went to the president when he was appointing her as sanitation minister and said that, but why are you appointing her? He's not a Bawumia person. Mr. President must have said, that's not the point. That's not the point. I mean, she can do the work, so put her there. John Peter Amewu is Minister for Railways. Nobody has sacked him. You know, people thought that, oh, once you show your face for another candidate, they'll sack you. I have to credit Akufo-Addo for that kind of tolerance. Often people say many things about Akufo-Addo, but you have to credit him for that kind of tolerance. Whereas he has announced that he's not supporting any candidate, he is not looking for anybody to punish because he supports one candidate or the other. Kennedy Japan is parliament. He still goes for meetings and all of that. So this is our take. It's quite interesting and quite controversial, isn't it? Yeah. So we begin with Ken Ofori-Atta, the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. Now, this is the door through which Dr. Bawumia became the running mate in 2008. And that under any circumstances, Ken will cast his votes for Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. Okay. This is our foreign minister, Ayako Boche, who has been in the news recently for good things. He's been at the passport office and trying to fix it and make it happen and make it work and all of that. We believe that Shirley Ayako Boche will vote for Dr. Bawumia. This is Defense Minister, my good friend Dominic Nitiwul, who has been holding the defense quite tight for the last 6 years or so. He's been very quiet and it appears he's been very effective. The developments in Burma Camp show, you go to Burma Camp and they are building, they bought new equipment for the military. In fact, in his tenure, he's done significant buying so many equipments for the military. And from what we hear in Burma Camp, they are very excited about him. We believe that his vote is going to Dr. Bawumia. Okay, this is Godfred Yeboah-Dame, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. We think that Dr. Godfred Dame will vote for Dr. Bawumia. And then this is Katie Hammond. My friend Tahiru, very interested man, you know that already. Katie Hammond is the Minister for Trade. Now, Katie Hammond is on a disco boy, and he's very close to Brian Achampong. Many people don't know that. Brian Achampong and Katie Hammond are very close. We suspect that given his background, even though he's from a Adisadel with Alanche Martin, we think that Katie Hammond will vote for Dr. Bawumia. Okay. My minister, Koko Ofori-Atta is voting for Dr. Bawumia. If he had 3 votes, he will give all to Dr. Bawumia. If Koko Ofori-Atta had 5 votes, he will vote Bawumia. Because I've spoken to him and he's told me, and people know that about him already. Now, he is also very close friends with Kennedy Japan. Not everybody knows that. They are very, very tight. They've been tight since a long time. They are very close. But people who know him also know that in spite of his relationship with Kennedy Japan, he thinks that for the party to win, it should be Dr. Bawumia, and he's going to elect Dr. Bawumia. Okay. Minister for Roads, Kwesi Amakwanta, I think he's already said it in some places. He said it somewhere, that he's going to also vote for Dr. Bawumia. So now I'm going through the ministerial list. Hey, Hawa Kumsin is a brutal Bawumia supporter. Total one. She's like a Bawumia fundamentalist. Those who know that. I mean, he's even had classes with Kennedy Japan, verbal classes with Kennedy Japan over the vote and all that. She has a vote in the super delegates, and no doubt, 100%, Hawa Kumsin is going to vote for Dr. Bawumia. This is Ambrose Derry, the Minister for Interior, and we also believe that Ambrose Derry, in every circumstance, is going to elect Dr. Bawumia. And then you have Brian Achampong. the main man. Brian Achampong is the big man over here. People have even talked about Brian Achampong as being a potential running mate to Dr. Bawumia. That Brian commands a lot in the eastern region. He's forceful, he's youthful, he has a lot of exuberance and a lot of energy. You saw the walk that they did in the Kwao place. Brian has a lot of energy, and people believe that Brian is going to elect Dr. Bawumia. Okay. Of course, Minister for Energy, former Minister for Education, Napo. He's also been talked about as a potential running mate to Dr. Bawumia. He's been talked about that if Dr. Bawumia is the candidate, then MPP must pick a running mate from Ashanti. And if you pick a running mate from Ashanti, you must pick a younger person. You don't want somebody who's older than Dr. Bawumia, because the MPP needs to signal to the Ghanaian people that we are going youth. And if you're looking for somebody who is a mobilizer, who can generate resources and can generate people and can engage with people, it is Matthew Opoku Prempeh. They call him Napo. He comes from the heart of Menhia. His father was a big Menhia person. He's a chief. And he also says to me that every Asantehene is his grandfather. And so he's in the heart of the Ashanti or Yoko tradition. Therefore, if Dr. Bawumia is looking for an Ashanti running mate to bolster the chances of the MPP winning again and to secure 75% of Ashanti votes, you need to look at Matthew Opoku Prempeh. That's what they say. And so, Opoku Prempeh's vote, 100% Bawumia. Okay. Yes, another instance. Opoku Prempeh's former deputy, the fantastic Dr. Osei Aduchum, one of the most intelligent ministers that you can get. I mean, one of the most intelligent ministers you can get. In Kenya, they celebrate him like nobody's business. In Uganda, they celebrate him like nobody's business. And they celebrate him for the same reasons that we celebrate him in Ghana. His understanding and perception about education, and what education should look like, and what education shouldn't look like. Dr. Osei Aduchum appears to understand that clearly. Now, he's lived it, because in his life, he's a teacher. He has built a school for his community, Osei Aduchum Senior High School. And so people think that if the MPP is touting education as one of their strong points, that Dr. Bawumia must be picking a running mate who exemplifies that, who sort of amplifies the MPP education policy. And that person should be Osei Aduchum. But Osei Aduchum's vote for the 26th of August, 1,000% Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. Okay, Samuel Abu Jinapor is one of Akufo-Addo's children, if you sort of understand what I mean. And Sami has come through the ranks from the communication, from the Kumasi, KNUST. He's called to the bar as a lawyer. He worked with Justice Kulendi, if you have to know that as well. Abu used to work in Justice Kulendi's law firm until the MPP came to power in 2016, and he became a deputy chief of staff with President Akufo-Addo. He's one of Akufo-Addo's children. Very, very close relations with the president, particularly close with the president. And to all intents and purposes, Samuel Abu Jinapor is electing Dr. Bawumia. Okay, Chairman Sabunsu is also been talked about as one of this Minister for Parliamentary Affairs. It's been talked about as one of the potential running mates if Dr. Bawumia is to pick from Ashanti. Chairman Sabunsu has demonstrated a very intense relationship with the UP tradition. I go to Parliament and they tell me that if you're looking for those who hold the UP tradition dear to their heart, those who are UP fundamentalists, almost NLM, that's Chairman Sabunsu. He's a UP blue blood through and through. He understands the UP history, he understands the UP philosophy. He's one of those who's been groomed by Kwame Donkofojo, Apia Minka, and all the big Kumasi names, J.A. Kufuor, and all of that, Kwame Addo-Kufuor, and these are his mentors. All his mentors are proper UP people. So he understands the UP tradition. He's built a huge parliamentary profile for himself. From minority leader to majority leader, he's been in parliament, he's worked it out, he understands it. Some people also think that if the MPP were to win, he'll be a good person to be a speaker of parliament, because not many people understand the Fourth Republican Parliament better than Chairman Sabunsu. Not many people understand the standing orders of parliament better than Chairman Sabunsu. Not many people understand the intricacies of parliament better than Chairman Sabunsu. And so Chairman Sabunsu is parliament, and parliament is Chairman Sabunsu. If Dr. Bawumia wants a party person from the heart of Ashanti, he's member of parliament for Swami. I believe so. He's a member of parliament for Swami. Then Dr. Bawumia should be going for him as a running mate. But that's the jury is still out on that. But we can say that his vote as a Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, he has two votes. He has a vote as a Member of Parliament, and he has a vote as a Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. The rules suggest that you can vote once, even if you have 4 votes. Some people may have 4 votes. Somebody is National Council member, he's a Minister, he's a Member of Parliament. That gives him 3 votes. But you have to elect to vote once. So he will be voting once, and we think that he's voting Dr. Bawumia. This is Kwekwa Ajimamenu, the Minister for Health. He also has a vote. To all intents and purposes, the BA man is voting Dr. Bawumia. Kojo Nkrumah has already endorsed Dr. Bawumia. Big time. And so we know that he's voting Dr. Bawumia. As Information Minister, Kojo has been a repository of a lot of wisdom. He's spoken so well. These days I see NDC people writing and say that, where is the Information Minister? Where is it? Then you go and check his Facebook page and he says that, keep the work going and focus. Keep the work going and focus. When Kojo hasn't spoken for a long time, then we know that the day he speaks, he's going to drop many things. So he's waited for the media budget is gone. I'm sure he's waiting for a few developmental marks to occur after the mini congress and all of that. He will grant a big interview, and there we will hear why he has been quiet for 4 months. And as he says, keep the work going and focus. Kojo Nkrumah is going to elect Dr. Bawumia. All right. And then you have, Peter Amewu is a minister. I already talked about Peter Amewu as a member of parliament. But now he's a minister. So Peter Amewu has 2 votes as well. He cannot cast both votes for Alan. He has to cast one. He has to tell the party office whether he's casting his vote as member of parliament or he's casting his vote as minister. I guess that he'll cast his vote as minister. And that vote is going to Alan Kyerematen. John Peter Amewu is going to elect Alan Kyerematen. People say that he may be Alan Kyerematen's running mate. If Alan Kyerematen were to win the contest, John Peter Amewu could be his running mate.
I wait in some air cross any the air by air or Ghana. I'm sure say the same reality and they also want to any a shop a family. What would there any comment for Eddie and Mammy or comment section? That's a case a guarantee. So me I'm written as Eddie because I go with chair fair. The I may just end just see a day.